Welcome to the Country Store tutorial part 6. We're going to create a new page today for our country store using FastAPI routes. As a reminder, there are 5 earlier tutorials on this playlist. In the left-hand panel, open up the templates and we have the index.html, which we edited earlier. We're going to make a copy of this. And I'll do Control V on Windows. I'm going to rename it product-description.html. On this file, from about line 43, search for the main content. This would be a comment here, and there's an H1 here. We're going to change it to create, put your name, store, product description, generator. Okay. Then there's this grid here. So I'm going to scroll down and look for the ending main, which would be here. And there's a div above it, which is part of this div here, which sets up the main page. So it should be pretty basic. We don't have a way to access the page right now because we need to set up the routes. So I'm going to collapse this right now. We go to the routes here and we're editing pages.py. And in this section here, actually, I commented out the instantiation of all the food objects. So I'll delete it. We're trying to get to this section here, which has the root route. We are using the database. For this next one, we won't. We're going to use an LLM eventually. So I'm going to copy the one below it, which is the design demo. I'm going to paste it in. I'm going to change the endpoint here to product description, and I'll call it product description underscore description, and then we'll have it be the product description generator page. And we are going to change this template response to product description. And we'll change the title. Product description generator. Generator. Okay, so this is our entire route here from on my screen from 93 to 98, and the endpoint is product-description. Let's try to open up a web page here. So it should be localhost :8000. I'm going to put a slash, and the URL, that endpoint that we just assigned, which is product description. So it should be a blank page right now. It just has the H1 from the template. It'll take a moment to celebrate as you just added a new page with FastAPI. Right now we don't have a header because this is a hidden kind of like an admin panel right now. There's no password on it right now. Next, we're going to add in a couple of JavaScript helper classes for us. So the one that we've been using is Tailwind. We're going to go under here and we're going to add first HTMX, which will help us a bit with the interactivity. So I'm using it from unpackage, and it's HTMX 2.0.6 here. And the next one that we're going to add in is called Alpine.js. And on the Alpine.js page, currently it's 3.x.x. Okay, under the H1, we're going to add a paragraph, which is P, and we'll put some instructions. Product name to generate a 12-word AI description. 12-word description, maybe with AI. Okay, refresh the page. It's looking good. We're going to, over here, I'm going to put margin bottom. So MB is margin bottom. I'm going to use an 8. Maybe, let's see, how close is it? Maybe I'll just put a 2 here. And then for this one, I'll put margin bottom 8. At margin bottom 8. And I think I'll cut down the blackness. So I'm going to go text gray hyphen, let's say 600. And we'll see how it looks. Okay, before, after. Yep, looks a little bit better. The slider, the gray look here, and there's some spacing right there. Okay, let's try to build our form right below it. So I'm going to first create a div. And in here I'll put a form. And in the div around the form, we're going to make it look a little bit like a card. So we'll set the background to white. And you did this something very similar with the cards on the front page of the site with the shadow, big shadow, and padding all around of 6. In the form, right here, we're going to use HTMX post. We haven't created the post endpoint yet, but we will call it the same name, product description endpoint, and we're going to say generate. This does not exist yet. We'll have to create it in the next step, but just to get the layout of the form here. And then we'll set up a description to find it again, or target. Description result, which will swap it out. HX swap will be inner HTML. Whoops. We'll have a loading indicator eventually. And we'll put some spacing. Okay, we have the nice rounded corner here with the shadow. We're going to put another div in here, right above where the form is. And in this new div, we're going to put a label. For the label, will be for the product name. We'll have the class with some styling, text SM, font medium, text gray, 700 with a margin bottom of 2. And we'll just have our label be product name. So at this point, we'll have the product name right here within the form. And then below the label, we're going to use the input. And the type is text. The ID will be the product name. Product name. And the name will be product underscore name. And we'll make it be required because we need it. And then we'll add some styling. Width will be full. Padding for the X, so it's a horizontal padding. We'll set it to 4. Padding Y will be 3. We'll specify a border, and we'll specify the border color. Oops, border gray 300, and will be rounded LG because we like the rounded corners. And we'll have a focus ring of 2. Focus. We'll make the border transparent. And we'll put a placeholder text of enter product name, such as fried chicken dinner, which was one of the products we inserted in the previous video. If you refresh your browser, it should look like this, and you should be able to input text in here if you want to. Type in on the keyboard or delete it, and then when it's not selected, it looks like that. When it's selected, it looks like that. Okay, so we're going to put a little button here now. That we're outside of that div right there, right? We're right above the form. We're going to put a button, and the button type will be submit, and we'll add a bunch of styling to this button. But maybe let's just set it up first. Generate description. Okay, we have a button here, but doesn't look good. So we're going to fix it. So we'll set up the class equals, so we want it to be full and background AI blue, text will be white, and we'll check it out. And it still doesn't look very good, but we're working on it here. So we'll put some padding for the Y and padding for the X. And we'll have it be rounded corners again. We'll make the font. There's a semi-bold one here. We'll check it out. It's looking better, but there's no hover effect. So we're going to add the hover effect. Hover, when in hover, we're going to change the background to blue, different color, 700, and we'll have transition color. So there's a bit of animation. Okay. So just with that simple little styling, it's looking much better. I'm going to wrap the generate description within a span. I guess I should have selected it. And then on this span, we're going to apply HTMX indicator will be hidden. And above this, we'll put another span in. And this will be generating. Make the ID be the loading indicator, and the class will be the HTMX hyphen indicator. Indicator. And in here we'll put some type of like weighting thing. So we'll create another span. And in this span we'll put like a placeholder front icon for clock or something like that. We'll set up the span. Class will be, it's an inline block, so it doesn't create a new line. And we're going to do animate spin margin right of 2, and I need something that spins, that will look good spinning. So I'm on this site, Emojipedia. You can pick any icon you want, but I'm going to use this hourglass and drop it into the span here. Okay, last thing we need is the result div. So below the form and above the last two divs, we'll create a new div. And this will be empty, except that we're going to have an ID so that we can find it when we have the description result. And we'll add a bit of styling here so that it's pushed a bit down. Margin top will be 6, so it's not directly under the form portion. Okay, we have a nice little form, and it's not functional yet, but in the future we will add the functionality. You see the little spinning thing, and it's going to generate this type of description. This is from the AI generated. So we can put different type of food, barbecue, pork, dinner. Hopefully no one's a vegetarian, and if you are, hopefully you're okay with this type of example. Spinning, generate right there. So the animation section, right? You added it right there, and it's not working on yours right now because you need to hook it up to the endpoint. But fried chicken dinner. So the first is that generate description is right here, right? When you press the generate description, it changes it, generate, and eventually you have the description generated for chicken dinner, which we need to hook up in the next video. But here's what you should see in your console. So uv run opman.py run server. It sets up the development server. It sets up the admin panel. Gets the app state, sets up the login. And then on yours at this point, it should look like this. You should have this nice little animation here. Press fried chicken dinner. It attempts to get to the endpoint that we specified, which is a post. We haven't set up the route yet. We'll do that in the next video. It should be a 404 not found. So this is expected because in the routes we did not set up, we just have the product description. So we do need to set up the route for the post and process it. There is a GitHub repository on here that I'm still working at, but you can get access to it from my friend who's helping us build this tutorial curriculum. So part 6 is right here. We go here for the commits. So it's video 1, video 2, video 3. This is actually video 4. I just didn't put part 4 up here. Part 5, and then part 6 is the one today. So my friend Jesse Kasman, president of OpKey, he's helping out the volunteers or students with this type of tutorial. There's no cost to you. We're just trying to get direct contact, and the repo is changing fairly rapidly. So until I finish it, I'm not going to make it public right now. It hits him wearing the hat, friendly guy. He's eating a local moko in Hawaii. It's egg with a beef patty on rice with some gravy. I myself am eating the lighter mahi plate.